This is a 2025 Ram 3500 Laramie MegaCab. And I really hope Stellantis sees this video because this is a big problem with their trucks. I borrowed it from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sydney, Utah. It is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. Base price is $78,845. And then here is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause to see more. Starting off the options is the fifth wheel and gooseneck prep. Night edition is $29.95. Laramie Level 2 Plus is $48.95. Power sunroof, auxiliary switches, and the transfer case skid plate finishes off the options. Destination is $19.95 with a total price of $90,820, and you guys can see the warranty coverage right there. Now I know some of you guys complain about how I title my videos, but this one is justified 100%. This is a problem. When you see a $90,000 truck, there's just some things that just should be there. You shouldn't have to option anything else at this price point, especially when you have a level 2 equipment group plus package on the truck for 5 Gs. This is why I would probably 9 times out of 10 buy a GMC or a Chevy HD off the lot before I ever buy a Ram truck, because Ram sucks at packaging their trucks, and I hope Tim Kuniskis fixes this quick. This is a problem, 100%. And I'm gonna go over here in a second. Now, I gotta marvel at this night edition. I do like their sport performance hood. It finishes off every Ram every time. Love the painted bumpers. Okay, let's just get to it. I can't. So right here, you see right here? What is this? Do you guys see that? That is a problem. So this truck has a level 2 equipment group. You don't have any cameras on the front or on the mirrors, which means you're not going to have 360 camera view. So they do give you the camera up there. Also, there's something else missing that we'll go over later in the video on. So obviously you have the backup camera. It better have that, right? So when you spend $5,000, that gives you a lot of nice features except 360 camera. And I will admit, some of the features that you get with the level 2 is nice, like the 17 speaker Harman Kardon. I do like that. Dual wireless charger pad. Some of these things come a part of the level 1 too, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, auto dimming exterior mirrors. I mean, listen, Laramie is a pretty high trim. That should just come standard. But realistically, if you want to get the 360 camera, you basically have to get that towing tech group. And I'm sorry, I just disagree with that. If you get a Denali or even a AT4, I believe you get 360 camera standard. And I feel as though if you're looking at Laramie up trims, it already has the premium lights on this truck. So why not just make that one option standard? I mean, it's 2025. 360 camera is nothing new. Just like adaptive cruise control, they have that standard, but why not make that standard? I think personally, I know that some people probably don't even care about that option, but after having all my trucks with 360, it's just something I have to have. And having that 14.5-inch display makes it even better. So who knows, maybe in the future, maybe Tim Kuniskis will fix that one thing. Rams have gotten better when it comes down to optioning the trucks, because for 2025, they did go down to just one diesel option. In the past, they had standard output, they had the high output, and then they just had the standard gas engine. But now, you only get that one diesel, and even for the dualies, the rear end is only a 342, so they did simplify the powertrain and drivetrain options for sure. So that is one good thing. But when it comes down to just packaging these trucks are so expensive already. My goodness. So yes, come on Ram. But yeah, I do like this sport performance hood. I was hoping for 2025 with the new Cummins, they were going to make this hood scoop functional, kind of like how GM does, just saying with the diesel. But you do have these heat extractors off to the side, and they do work. 20-inch wheels, and this is basically a carryover design for 2025. And these are a newer style tire. It's a Transforce AT2s, and it is a LT 285/60/20 Would like to see them upgrade these tires, but hey, if we just got 360 camera standard on Laramie, that would just be enough for me personally. 3,640 pounds of capacity. The first thing most guys do when they get their Ram trucks is probably upgrade these tires, because if you plan on towing, these will probably wear down before 20,000 miles, because it's happened to me actually. All the badging is blacked out, and remember last year, and probably the year before, they took away the option to have power deployable running boards. So there was a time where you could not get those on Laramie. Smart key system is still there, and you have all the power functions now for the mirrors. These are the best mirrors in the game because they're both heated, they're both power. You have this light for backing up your trailer, these lights on the front end if you're just stationary. No chrome at all. Even like the button here, they black it out, because on like GM products, like on the AT4, it's like chrome. And because this is the 1 ton, it does have the 4 leafs and the main pack. There's a liner here, and the framing is different in this section for the 1 tons too. Another issue with Ram's 31-gallon fuel tank. However, the DEF tank is larger for this year, and you guys can probably see they give you a big skid plate for that, and then there's your skid plate for the transfer case. No skid plate for that fuel tank, however. Although the Rebel does give you a skid plate, so if you went to your parts department, you probably could option that. I like skid plates, even if you don't plan on going off-road, because if something falls off of a truck and you run over it, it could clip that fuel tank. So there's a little bit added protection there. Here is your step. I believe this comes a part of that level 2, right? I think. Level 2 does give you bed utility, which includes your deployable bed step, LED bed lights, and spray-in bed liner, which is nice. That's one good thing about the level 2. It does give you a lot of nice features. Now, full LED tail lights, parking sensors, LED license plate lights, and you have a class 5 hitch. I already mentioned down below, you have a 342 with an anti-spin, and there's your spare tire. At least it's blacked out. Oh yeah, you have a light right there, assisted tailgate. Let's go ahead and put this stuff down too. It's pretty easy to do. And place here to grab onto. You have your bed lights, just 2 back here. They do say Ram on there. Do you guys see that? It says Ram. I don't think I've ever noticed that. That's how you turn them on too. 7 and 4 pin. And they give you 400 watts of power in the bed. See, Ford strong arms you to get their 2,000 kilowatts for $985. And you just have 1 camera up here. So even the 4K rearview mirror, that comes part of the towing tech group too. So yes, I feel as though for 5Gs, give us 360 camera at the very least, and then the rearview camera could just come a part of it separately. I don't know. I don't think that's as big as a deal for some people, but 360 is a big deal. Let's go ahead and talk about this powertrain really quickly. The more and more I drive this truck, the more and more I do want this new Cummins. It is so good. I have to admit to you guys, Ram fixed the Cummins. I've said it in other videos, I'm gonna keep saying it. They fixed the Cummins. And maybe a lot of it has to do with just getting rid of that grid heater. See, I drove 1 truck off camera in the past with the grid heater delete, and that's pretty much how this truck felt. Now, it was a 68 RFE transmission, but the Eisen might have probably felt pretty similar. But I will say, with the new intake manifold, the larger intake and exhaust valves, this engine breathes better, and truly, there is not as much torque management as there was in the past. And remember, this new transmission, which is what they dubbed the Torque Flight by ZF, has a 49 first gear, so if you're not in tow haul mode, or if you're not towing a trailer, it does start in 2nd gear. And even with that, it doesn't feel sluggish. Like, they did such a great job with this truck, guys. Really did. I am really happy that Ram fixed the Cummins. They really did fix it, guys. I'm impressed for sure. And you guys can see your fuel rail right there. It's more exposed than it was last year. Also, your fuel filters are both under the hood. GM only gives you 1, so I'm not sure why Ford and Ram feel like you need 2, but hey, fuel is not as good as it used to be, so I'm not going to complain at all. You guys see right there, your oil filter canisters here. And they did do some updates to that EGR system too. And I know some of you guys are going to ask the question, when are they going to just let us delete these trucks, or when are they going to stop adding all the emission stuff? It's not going to happen. Even though I know Trump could make that possibly happen, but he would need probably 3 terms for that to happen. I'm just saying, it's not going to happen, guys. So let's go ahead and really quickly talk about this interior. And then I really wanted to just show the payload and talk about that camera system missing. Simply put, if I were to buy a truck today, I like the idea of the pricing for the Laramie. I don't like the idea of a limited right now. It just, I don't know, like in the past I had to have the highest trims, but this is the one I probably would get, but it doesn't have my fender flares. And like I said, when these trucks come to the dealerships, they just miss so many features that I would like to have. At 90 grand, just give me everything. That's all I have to say. And yeah, here's the interior. I like the Harman Kardon speaker grille. And one thing that you have to really notice between Limited and Laramie, and I will do a comparison in the future, they give you like a fabric material versus the suede. So the Limited has the fabric, this has the suede, and this looks better. So I don't know why Ram decided to go backwards for the Limited trim. But yeah, I think that the Laramie is the way to go now, especially if you can get this truck priced, you know, below $85,000. I mean, that sounds crazy, but yes, with all the options. I didn't even talk about air suspension. That's another video I have to discuss because I don't think you can get it on the single rear wheel trucks. But I don't know. I'm just a little bummed by how Ram has been packaging these trucks. It's just very frustrating. And this is why every Ram I've ever had, I've ordered them. And this is why, because they do a very strange job with their packaging. But I won't talk about it anymore. I'm done talking about it. You guys see those dual chargers there? They still have the best center console. Deep storage. They do illuminate that area too. Down below. Up top. I like how they give you this like velvet material. No more USB inside of this area, but they still give you the light in this area. They're the only truck manufacturer I know that gives you illumination for the top storage. Auto dimming mirror, LED lights. If you want to drop the tailgate, but you cannot put it back up, you can open this sunroof. You can also slide that rear glass. See what I do? This is why I buy sunroofs. I always open that rear glass and I vent my sunroof. Like during these months, like April, May, it's not as hot, it's not as cold outside, but the sun is hot, so it's just nice to have a nice breeze through the truck. That way you don't sweat and you don't have to have the AC on either. So that's what I like about having the sunroof. And of course having that power sliding rear glass. There is no four-wheel drive auto. However, if you go over to the, oh, one more thing. I want to show you this camera view. Interesting enough too, you will never know this, you will never hear this anywhere else because I'm the only one that will notice this weird stuff like this. The cameras are better for the trucks that have the 360 camera view. And I will prove that. Like this looks, you see how it looks like a little grainy? I've done videos in the past with the dually, I think it was a Laramie, but it had the towing tech. The camera system was a lot clearer. So when you don't have 360 camera, I don't know why that is, because that camera is above the cab. So that doesn't even make sense, but the camera quality is better. And I will have to do a separate video on that because I can clearly tell 100%. Now it's time to check out the numbers on the door. Starting with the gross axle weight ratings out front. 6,000 pounds. And the rear is 7,000. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 12,300 pounds. 20 by 8 wide wheels. And all in payload, is it going to be lower than last year's? I want to say these trucks had around 3,800 pounds last year too. But here it is. 3,000, oh wow, 3,800, I thought it was 3,006, but 3,830 pounds. That's actually pretty good. And you guys see here, tire pressure 65 out front, 80 in the rear. So I am doing a video next comparing this with a 3/4 ton truck, because I want to show you guys the difference in the payload capacity and why you should 100% get a 1 ton if you plan on towing gooseneck or fifth wheel trailer. But be sure to subscribe to your channel. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. GM is probably the best when it comes down to packaging their trucks. Once you get the highest like package, it's like you get everything you could possibly want, and that's how most of the trucks get delivered here. So when Ram does it, it's like they just nickel and dime you. So stop it, Ram. We see what you're doing.